Hey yo, what's going on, bro? Once again, bros, women, bronies, and pack sisters, otakus, Ikikomotos. This is the one, the only, of course, Mr. Nintendo Sony for 2011 and K Criticism Guide 2009. And of course, you guys are arrested in intro towards this channel. Definitely check out freedown.com and of course, Triple News on that. If any people are interested in that business program, best partnership I ever had, like a shit. Links in the description box down below. Annotation outside. If any people are interested in that business program, business relationship, or program, market strategy, market scheme, all that shit. Without further ado, let's begin. And if this thing doesn't work again, it's going to be a pain in the ass, but it is what it fucking is. So, today, ladies and gentlemen, holy freaking crap. Well, not even really today. A couple days ago, 5 days to be most exact. But I was going to do this yesterday. I was just way too lazy as hell to do it. Plus, I was like super tired and stressed the fuck out from my job not too long ago. Well, from one of them. The other one was cool as fuck. Anyways, there was this article that Eurogamer.net actually made, and it's like a million freaking words long. It's like a million pages long. So I'm just gonna read like 3 different like little paragraphs, and the rest of you guys can read it in your own time because this is huge as fuck. So, anyways, and usually I don't really watch many of his videos since he's a huge ass Xbox fanboy. That's all he ever fucking talks about most of the time. Even though he pretty much shits on Sony most of the time, which I really don't appreciate it very much. But fuck, it is what it is. Xbox fans are always going to do that shit. Oh, Xbox is better than Sony. Xbox is better than Sony. Just get the fuck out of here. That's fucking horseshit, man. In my own personal opinion. Even though everyone's free to choose what they like. It's just for me, I mean, granted, it's just like I said before, and I said it hundreds and millions of times, maybe past thousands. I'm just not a real big fan of a lot of the freaking titles that Xbox has. There's maybe like a handful of them I actually do like a little bit, but just as far as it goes, I'm not saying the whole system, console-based system, is shit. I'm just saying it's just a lot of the fanboys just make it very cringeworthy and just it's kind of like, what is it called? Not really a face palm. It's more of like a forehead palm for me in a way, and it pisses me the hell off. It's just bullshit. It's horse crap. I don't like it. It is what it fucking is. But anyways, links to the description box down below. Take outside if you want to agree with me. And the person that wrote this entire whole thing was Richard Ledbetter. Excuse me. So shout out to Richard Ledbetter for making his whole entire article up as he went along. Anyways, yeah, without further ado, let's begin. It has something to do like bioshock. And I know I'm showing a couple other PS3, PS4 like games on there, but it is what it is. Just bear with me. I'm just using them strictly and solely as examples. So other than that, let's begin and let's do this shit. Oh, also, I might have this video up either by Friday or Saturday. Stay tuned for that. I still got to do that Generations reaction review. I know it's been almost like 2 weeks since it's been out. It's just, haven't had time to get around it. But anyways, I don't know why the hell that happened. Okay, I forgot to turn the notifications off. Fuck. Screw it, Twitter, whatever. It says Face Off. Bioshock the Collection. Like I said, the whole entire article is down below. And then I'll put a link to the video for Crap Game Reviews on video. Description box down below. The article I actually heard this from. The channel I heard this from, excuse me. And let's do this shit. So it says platformer. It's for the PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. This was September 22nd, so it was only like last week, I think Friday or Saturday. I think it was a Thursday, I don't know. Don't quote me on that. So it says, on paper, the package looks compelling. The original Bioshock, its underrated sequel, and the DLC are all treated to a full remaster for their current game console debuts. Plus, that's a really bad thing. Don't ever get that, kids. Plus, there's a full port of Bioshock Infinite, offering the complete PC package for the PS4 and Xbox One owners. On top of that, 2K Games has aimed high in terms of performance and image quality with 1080p resolution and 60 FPS, aka frames per second, action targeted for all 3 titles. Now in theory, this shouldn't cause any issues for the first 2 games in the series, at least. After all, despite the striking visuals, Bioshock and its sequel are actually based on the modified form of Unreal Engine 2.5. I remember the same dudes that made Killing Floor and all those other PC games. Not bad at all. In the original Xbox era. On top of that, Bioshock Infinite, despite its various streaming glitches, proven to be a mostly solid piece of PC codes, the ideal basis from which to port PS4 and Xbox One. So hopeful So hopes were high going into this, going in here. That doesn't make sense, but whatever, I'll take it. Additionally, there's good news for the PC owners for the original games too, and they get mediated, I guess, whatever. We'll go with that. It's not a word, it is now. Let's continue. Access to all the remastering works with no further cash required. Wow, cash outlay required. Okay. This is a generous move on the part of 2K Gaming, bearing in mind that the conversion smith Blind Squirrel Gamers have clearly poured a lot of time and effort into bringing the BioShock series and a sequel into the modern gaming era. They're revamping lighting. There's revamping of lightings, new models, and higher resolution text grafted in the first two games. Additionally, all three titles benefit from the inclusion of a director's commentary, unlocking by discovering new items and adding each version of the game. Having grown resigned to the bare bones of the remastered edition, like most of Capcom's recent outputs, that they take the form of a straight ports with very little in the way of enhancements. There's definitely the scenes of the 2K series, 2K has at least put in the time, effort, money in here. However, what should have been a successful launch has been impacted by an avalanche of bug reports, complaints about the aspect ratio support, mouse control issues, plus the lack of surround sound. There's little debut. Let me read that again. This is the last two paragraphs I'm going to read, and after that, that's it. There's little debut of the collection is a little. There's little doubt, that the collection is a little rough around the edges right now. But for our money, there's another important issue to address here. Can enhancing original artwork go too far? What if the changes made don't always seem respectful towards the source material? Could it actually be the case of the new versions actually look worse than the originals in some scenarios? And there's a little video there, you can watch it as well. First up, it's plain to see that both of the BioShock and its sequel benefit from massively improved texture works that runs across the entire game. To the credit of the developer, it seems that almost every aspect of the game has been substantially revamped. In addition to the core artwork that has better scales in today's 1080p resolution standards. Environmental details have also been upgraded with an improved geometry. In addition to the in-game models, also benefit from a ground-up approach, clearly boasting significantly more details. However, it's frustrating to see a poor level of texture filter in place, meaning that the ground texture in particular suffers when a view is oblique angles. I haven't seen that word in a long time. The benefits of the remastering version can work seemingly well in vanishing in some scenarios. However, it's actually the changes that make its core aesthetics that are more of a concern. Rapture is a city under siege, with the original developers making that felt throughout the game with a strong, shiny, specular component, giving the sense that the wet floors are moistness across the whole game. There was massively toned down throughout the remastered titles. Even the texture used for rushing waters are seemingly dialed back, removing some of the original's looks and feels. On top of that, the audio is clearly an issue. Some of the sound is obviously more compressed than compared to the original. Reverb, I think it's reverb. Reverb is missing, and even some of the smaller sound effects are absent. Some of the tape reel noises playing in the background are a diary of a recording. The audio mix itself feels flatter and a lot more leveler and it all comes across to a substantial downgrade. The PC version also locked to stereo output, and owning the paired back settings menu is actually required dipping into the initial files to force the surrounding mix. And there's a whole bunch of pictures, you can look at that yourself, and then there's the rest of the article there. Other than that, overall thoughts, views, and opinions, I really should have brought a little bottle of water like I normally do, or a glass of it. Kind of a little bit of fucking dumbass for doing that shit. But anyways, as far as that goes, honestly don't care about graphics, even though I came from a time back in the 90s. I know I'm pretty much a fucking broken record when it comes to this shit, but just hear me out. If any people are especially brand new or anything to this shit, or if any people are brand new subscribers, thank you very much for subscribing to the channel. I appreciate that very, very much. Other than that, I came from a time, especially in the 80s, obviously. I mean, I didn't come from the 80s, I came from the 90s. But other than that, it was like a whole bunch of arcade-style things. You know, it was a lot of stuff with 16, 18-bit graphics, and then I think it went up to 30-something graphics in the 90s, and it went higher and higher as it progressed, especially when it came to the mid-late 2000s. After I was done being a 90s kid and started going to being a teenager in the 2000s at the time when everything was all the freaking rage at the time. Holy crap, there's so many brand new things blowing up at that time. It's wild as hell as far as popularity goes. I mean, you had, even though it was in the 90s, you had like the reality shows that were starting to blow up even bigger than they were before. All these little contesting contest places and all that. It's just, it was wild as hell, man. It honestly was. Fortunately, there was a lot of bad stuff. I'm not going to get into any of the negative shit because that's not what my channel's about. But anyways, whew, man. Honestly, it never really mattered. I never really gave a shit about any of these games. Especially, I think it was like 05, 2006 when Bioshock, the original series, came out for the PS. I think right before the PS3 was released and the Xbox 360 was released at its time. And of course the Wii. I mean, of course, at that time I was owning the PS2 and I actually did own the original Xbox. I know it's crazy, as hard as fuck as it is to believe. And might I add you, this is before the whole console wars bullshit was going on and clashing with each other. This is one that legit real gamers at that time. And this is before all the whole PC race is the #1 master race, which I could get two shits in a fucking rat's ass about that fucking little like bullshit that happens most of the time. Other than that, it's really, really ridiculous, man, because unfortunately, I didn't really get a chance to give it a shot. I missed out on a lot of good games, which I thought were just going to be complete crap. Because at that time, I was a lot more focused on, besides getting high school work done and all that shit, trying to look for work at that time. Whew, it was some really fucking dark times that were really, really crappy in my life. I'm not going to get into detail because that crap is it's for me to know, and unfortunately, you guys to never to find out. Other than that, holy crap, man. I remember the whole, that was like so much of the freaking rage at that time. It was like the biggest trendy thing at the time. And it was like when Twitter, I think, was a baby at that time. Wasn't even that big. I barely even used it at all. I was like real busy being on the social networks like Facebook and MySpace at the time. And as far as that goes, I know it has nothing to do with Bioshock. I heard from a couple of my friends at the time that they owned the game and said, oh, it's one of the best things in the world. When I looked at a couple trailers for it, because at the time, IGN and GameStop were getting even more bigger than they already were. And of course, G4 TV was still around. I actually watched a couple of trailers for it and the gameplay for it. That's the only place you could look for it before YouTube was a thing. Even though, granted, this was like mid-late 2000s, YouTube was just barely starting to come of age. This was before Google ended up like buying YouTube after that. It's crazy as hell as this topic is to believe, ladies and gentlemen. Oh man. I actually did hear that Google, Disney, and Verizon, I know this has nothing to do with this game thing at all whatsoever for PS4, Xbox One graphics. I just want to get off topic just really quick. I heard that they're actually trying to buy Twitter. I don't have a problem with Google or Verizon buying it, but if Disney fucking buys it, holy shit. That's going to be a shitstorm, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be very, very bad because obviously, as a lot of people know, Disney is usually family-friendly most of the time, even though, granted, they have a little bit of a dark side, and I exposed it a lot of my Criticism Guy channel, unfortunately. Obviously, you already know what the hell it is. I don't even have to get into it because a lot of stupid fucking millennials, not all of you, some of you though, like to see it, oh, it's a meme, and everything's confirmed, it's confirmed, what's that behind you? It's a subliminal message. Fucking horseshit, man. They just like to mess around with other people and troll and crap around them, but Now I'm getting way off topic. I just really hope that Disney, if they end up buying it, hopefully it doesn't end up being family friendly. I really hope it doesn't come to that point. I really hope it's either Google or Verizon that buys it, even though, granted, it might suck a little ass that Verizon buys it, because Twitter might just end up being exclusive towards Verizon, which would suck a little bit. It means I would have to switch my network from T-Mobile to Verizon, which would suck ass a shit ton. But other than that, I haven't had any trouble with T-Mobile at all in the past, thank God. Sprint had a shit ton of issues with them, especially that one, Metro PCS, and then the other real shitty one, which was on Boost Mobile. I think the only thing it ever did right was like record videos, which I only did about 8 of them at that time 2 years ago. Many people remembered those videos. I think it had something to do with either like Attack on Titan, and I think it was like I don't know if it was an anime review segment, an MLP reference, some segment review, article reaction review segment. I don't know what the hell it was. I think it might have been something with E3, I'm not sure. I think one of them was a Pokemon TCG opening too. I remember that at the time. I think it was either the Chespin, Fennekin, or Froakie one about. I did it almost 2.5 years ago. Shit, time goes fast. I remember getting it for Target too. Fun ass times, guys, literally. But other than that, let's see. Let's get back to this bioshock thing, because I went a lot more off topic than I wanted to. Went way off topic. As far as graphics goes, I can get two shits in a rat's ass. Like I said before, I'll say it again. Honestly, I don't care how the graphics look, as long as the gameplay is good, along with a nice ass surround sound quality, and of course, besides the story, the beautiful background environments. As long as that's all good under the hood, especially with the voice acting, that is extremely prevalent and dominant as hell when it comes to like besides the high ass 1080p plus and over like graphics and 30 to 60 FPS frames per second type of thing. Man. Holy shit, besides that, the voice acting is very big and extremely important nowadays when it comes to video gaming. So back in the days, I think it was like the mid-late 90s, that was extremely rare. Once the early 2000s and above came around, that's when a lot of voice actors started getting into like the voice acting for, especially for the original Xbox and PS1 and PS2 era. Holy shit. That was a huge ass deal at the time. I think Nintendo was the only one that didn't really do it, except they still, even up to this day, except for, even though she used to be a PS3 and Xbox 360 character, of course I'm talking about Bayonetta, once they brought her along, they actually had more voice acting, especially when it came to like, I think, obviously one of Nintendo, the Wii and the Wii U's edition before the NX ends up coming out next year, which was Smash Bros. Brawl and then Smash Bros. 2014, if any people remember that at the time. Very big ass year. Obviously I did a shit ton of coverage when it came out, when there was a whole bunch of things that were coming out here and there. But other than that, the only two things I'm going to say about this is, number one, as long as the game doesn't get over freaking price, even though it's a remastered version, there's probably millions of other people that have played it already. Honestly, I've never actually even played the game. I've only seen a shit ton of Let's Plays, a lot of tutorials and everything else, like Easter eggs and everything else going on. I really always wanted to play the game, but I'll get there in due time. I've just been going to get into a lot more fighting and racing games lately. Obviously, excluding like Tekken and Street Fighter, even though those are my babies right there. Fucking love those with a passion. Besides, the whole Pokemon MLP series. I mean, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, I actually do like more other games excluding those games. I mean, I love the hell out of them. Whoa. I don't know why the fuck I did that. I don't know why the hell I even almost bust my head open with this thing. As I was saying before, there's actually a lot of other game titles I do love out there besides Pokemon and then DBZ and all these other ones that are like anime related. But yeah, and the second thing I wanted to say was that number two, hopefully the online frequency, if anything, like hopefully the online connection, online gameplay is actually really good if they do decide to go that route. I don't think there was a lot of online gameplay with the BioShock series, and that was more of like a whole Halo and Call of Duty and a whole bunch of other like games out there like Battlefield, Killzone, and then the infamous failure that it was, which was Titanfall 1. I don't know if the second one failed as bad as the first one, but that might just be me talking out of my ass. I don't know. But other than that, that's all I got to say for now, ladies and gentlemen. And that's pretty much it. Links to both of the videos and the article I did mention earlier in the description box down below if you want to read it in your own time. But there's a full article review, of course. And I'm done here. I should have brought a bottle of water. Why the hell did I not do that? And that's it. Peace out once again, bros, women, bronies, and Pegasus, otakus, kimonos. I will see you when I see you guys. A good day, have a good night, wherever you are at around the world. Don't drink some weed at the same time. Don't take the reckless. Keep it calm, keep it cool, keep it chill, keep it elective. Be easy, be do it yourself. Peace out. I'm like sauerkraut. I'm going to get out of here. Stay tuned for more future content. Chance, take more updates. Be you, do yourself, like I said. Stay safe, everyone. Stay tuned for more future commentaries, such as Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, PC gaming news, of course, anime, manga, news and series, article section reviews on this side of the room, along with gaming. And of course, on this side of the room will be my reaction reviews, overhyped reaction review segments, such as video reaction reviews and review segments. Apologize for the dog screaming. And the neighbor is doing his fucking motorcycle crap. Peace out, deuces, and goodbye. Later.